Is Drake really connected to the Hells Angels? The organization was built on violent drug trafficking and assassination. And if so, then why? You have to stay with me until the end. Otherwise, you won't find out the whole dark truth about Drake, because this story goes way deeper than anyone can think of. A tiny detail in Drake's track ignited a dangerous and confusing hip-hop conspiracy ever. So how do you see the situation? Drop your thoughts below. The chaos linked to Drake started with a subtle clue. In 2018, fans noticed something strange in Drake's hit song, God's Plan. He raps, 50 dud, I even got it tatted on me. 81, they'll bring the crashers to the party. The number 81 quickly raised eyebrows. To most listeners, it flew under the radar. But to those in the know, 81 is no random number. In the world of outlaw motorcycle clubs, the well-known code for the world's violent and dangerous organization, HELLS Angels. 8 and 1 stand for H and A. Was Drake name-dropping the infamous motorcycle club as his personal crashers? Online forums exploded with theories. So when Drake says they'll bring the crashers to the party, is he talking about them? About a biker gang? Some fans say yes. And this is where it gets weird, because once you start noticing the signs, you can't unsee them. That lyric opened a door to something that might be very real or just very clever branding. Keep following, guys, because that lyric wasn't the only clue. A few months later, Drake released a music video for a freestyle, unofficially dubbed Family Matters, widely seen as a subtle jab at Kendrick Lamar. In the final scene, Drake has a quiet, tense meeting with an older man in a red bandana. Did anyone notice in the Family Matters video at the end who Drake was being shot with? Andrew Kernew, Drake's real-life neighbor and allegedly a former Hells Angels president from Montreal. Drake flaunted that he had a Hells Angels boss by his side, a warning to rivals that Drake isn't alone. He has an army of crashers behind him. Rappers often align with tough figures in videos, and the Hells Angels have a storied history with the music industry. In the 60s, they provided security for the Rolling Stones during the infamous Altamont Free concert. Their presence at music events has been both legendary and controversial. But why would Drake put him in a video? Maybe the message in the video was chillingly clear. If Kendrick messes around, he's gonna find out. It also raised more questions. How deep is Drake in this dark world? But things do not end there. In late 2018, Drake's single photograph caught the world's attention as he was seen wearing a hoodie with a very specific message. Drake was on tour as usual. On backstage, he posed for an Instagram photo with Travis Scott. But Drake wasn't wearing OVO merch or a high-fashion jacket. He was rocking a black hoodie with written text, "Support Downtown Big Red Machine." That's not just a random fashion brand. That's known as support gear for the Hells Angels. And the number 81 was on it again. In other words, Drake was wearing full-on Hells Angels supporter gear. After that, the internet went crazy. Was Drake openly supporting the world's most notorious biker gang? Law enforcement didn't hold back. From Toronto to Vancouver, cops and journalists were stunned. Sergeant Lindsay Houghton of Canada's anti-gang unit called it extremely disappointing that Drake, one of the world's biggest stars, doing free promotion for a violent criminal empire. News outlets ran headline after headline. Vice, Global News, and the Toronto Sun demanded answers.
We became aware of this incident last week when Drake, also known by his real name, Aubrey Graham, was seen out at a social event with a number of other individuals. He was wearing a Support Hells Angels t-shirt. And that was sent to us as the provincial gang unit here in British Columbia. Many of us here saw that and expressed some concerns. And, you know, individuals like that, they have millions of people who follow them. They have substantial influence, whether it's on social media or the various platforms they have. We like to think that people can be better than that. And so, people like him have influence on young people's decisions. And part of the role that we have here in British Columbia is to prevent and educate people from getting into gang activity.
Is he naive, or is this solid proof of a deeper connection? The Toronto police chief even posted about it by saying Drake might be giving a dangerous gang-free advertising. He put it bluntly, Drake has to choose between the key to the city or supporting the Hells Angels. You can't do both. The message was clear, his golden reputation was hanging by a thread. But here's the real twist. Drake never apologized, never explained, not once. And his silence made things even more suspicious. But things really take off when people online started digging deeper. Reddit threads, YouTube videos, tweets. One theory stood out. Rumors emerged later that Drake's ties to the Hells Angels went beyond hoodies and lyrics into the realm of personal security and street protection. That Drake actually has the Hells Angels working for him as security sounds crazy, right? But think about it. Drake lives in Toronto. The Hells Angels have a big presence there. People with power on the streets. And who better than the Hells Angels? Let's slow down for a second. Ask yourself, is this all a coincidence, or are the pieces starting to fit together? In May 2024, a guard was shot outside Drake's home in the upscale Bridle Path neighborhood. Police said it was targeted, not random. Some speculated it was connected to a feud. After the shooting, it came out that Drake had started his own private security company. Why? Maybe to protect himself, maybe to legally employ people he already trusted. Some say the Hells Angels were part of that team. What does Drake get from all this? The answer might be respect. In the rap world, credibility is everything. Drake has been called soft. He's been attacked in diss tracks. Maybe aligning himself with real street power was his way to fight back, without rapping a single bar. But it's risky, because the Hells Angels aren't just a brand. They have history, they've been accused of crimes, violence, and worse. And they have rules. Many chapters don't allow black members. So tell me, how does Drake fit into that world? Is he really accepted or just tolerated because of money and fame? Every time Drake wears their gear, it makes them look cool, powerful. Less like criminals, more like icons. So maybe it's a trade protection for the image. Reddit threads dissected every angle. One user speculated that the Hells Angels might even be laundering money through Drake's business ventures in exchange for giving him protection, that they helped him in finance concerts, parties, maybe even album launches. For now, Drake is playing with fire. That one wrong move could turn this alliance against him. The Hells Angels aren't known for forgiveness. They're not a fan club. They're a force. If you cross them, it's not a diss track you'll get. It's something else. Still, the mystery continues. No one from Drake's team has addressed the rumors. No interviews, no tweets, nothing. But the clues are everywhere. Lyrics, clothes, cameos, silence. What we don't know is the extent of any real partnership. There's no photo of Drake at a Hells Angels clubhouse or any official confirmation that he's working with them. If he is receiving protection or doing business with the Angels, it's happening behind closed doors and off the record. Both Drake and the Hells Angels would have reasons to keep it quiet. So, what do you think, guys? Did Drake truly connect to the Hells Angels, or is he just playing a dangerous game with symbols and power? Share your thoughts in the comments below. By staying silent, Drake is saying more than he ever could with his music. Thanks for watching. Until the next chapter in the Outlaw Book.